Getting harder than a bitch, yeah. I ain't really with the shit, yeah, bitch. Shorty drunk and fuck, I think she did a bit. I don't want that what she from last year. Gang, 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 gang. I ain't really with the shit, yeah, bitch. Gang, gang.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl No Fury, and I'm coming back to y'all with another video. If this is your first time here, welcome. Join the Fury fam and click the subscribe button down below, as well as the bell next to the subscribe button to notify you whenever I make a video. Here we get down with all things makeup and all things random, and we have a no judgment zone, so if you don't want to be judged, click that subscribe button, shawty. If this isn't your first time here and you're coming back, welcome back, bitch. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the best primers for problematic or acne prone skin, you would say. I tend to or used to have super problematic skin. I still feel like I do, even though my acne has calmed down a lot. But I feel like these primers are literally like the freaking best. And I just personally feel like when you have acne prone skin, you really have to have a good primer or else you'll see all that texture. You have to have primers that actually cater to the acne so it won't make the acne worse. You know, those are just like the main things. And especially people with acne, they tend to have more so combination to oily skin. If they have dry skin, it's maybe because they're like on an acne medication. But me, I have combination skin, so that's more than likely what these primers are going to be about. If you want to know about the best primers for acne prone skin or problematic skin, just okay. So the first primer that I'm going to talk about is one of my favorites. It's actually almost out, and this is the trial size. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. It's the Radiance one with hyaluronic acid in it. But yeah, it looks like this. This is literally one of my most favorite primers ever. It's the small size. Okay, so the big size range from $15 to $39. So yeah, the trial size has lasted me a super long time, but this really is a really good primer. I like it because when you put it on, I don't know if you guys can see, it's actually tinted and it has like a highlighter in it, and it gives you like a nice radiance glow from within your makeup. And when you put it on, it's very moisturizing. It's not drying at all, and I feel like it does help a lot with my texture, especially around my areas where, like under, you know, on the sides of my nose where it gets more dry. I feel like it really helps like moisturize that area, and then all over the face it really does create like a nice glow within your makeup. So it's actually one of my favorite primers, one of my go-to's, especially if I want like a natural radiant look. This is what I'll reach for. Okay, the next primer that I'm going to talk about is actually a couple. I use them together. It is the Faced Hangover primer and also the Hangover primer spray. They look like this. I don't know if you guys can see that. My camera's being dumb. So they look like this. Sorry if you guys can't see it. My lights are so bright. One is a spray and one is a cream. So literally these primers together, if your skin is dry, it literally do exactly what it says on the bottle. It will refresh the skin, it will prep the skin, and it will definitely moisturize the skin. Only issue I have with this primer is that it does contain coconut water. And a lot of people's skin cannot handle coconut. So that's like my only issue. I did get this as a set, and I got it for a discounted price of $40. I'm trying to find the price of them separately. So the primer itself, I believe, is $16, and the spray is $32. Now, me getting them together was definitely a value, but yeah, that's the price of them separately. They definitely do moisturize the skin. It doesn't break me out from how long I've been using it. It doesn't break me out. It really does moisturize and prep my skin for my foundation, especially when I'm using like a super mattifying foundation that just takes my whole soul out my fucking face. This is really good, and it smells really good too. Okay, so the next primer would definitely be my good old Becca Ever Matte Perfecting Primer. It's really good if you have pores. Oh my gosh, this is like the best primer for pores ever. So the big size does run for $39. Again, this is the trial size. I believe I got it for around 16 bucks. And it really has lasted me a super long time. I know there's like a million pore filling primers out there, but the reason why people hype this one up the most, and I understand why, is because it doesn't, I don't know if it doesn't contain silicone, but it doesn't have that silicone feeling. Literally, you put it on and you rub it in and it feels like it's wet, and it literally dries down, and literally your pores disappear. Like, it's a completely different texture than any other pore filling primer. I believe that's why it's probably so expensive, but literally, and if you have oil, it will control your oil for hours. Like, this is literally one of my favorite primers if I'm trying to wear makeup literally like all day. Say it's an 8-hour work day, I'll reach for this primer, especially like in my T-zone. I know that I'll be covered. So definitely, this was definitely a pickup if you have really bad oil control or if you have very large pores. Okay, this next primer is not really a primer. It's more like a highlighter, but it's like in lotion form. I just picked this up. This is the MAC Strobe Cream, and basically it's a primer with highlighter in it, and it's super duper pretty, and it's not too overbearing. Put it on the back of my hand. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's like really pretty. It gives like a super nice glow. It's one of my favorites so far. The only thing I don't really like about it is the fact that it does have a fragrance, but it doesn't last or linger. Now, the mini retails for $14, while the big size retails for, I believe, $34. And this is in the shade Gold Light. Okay, so the last and final primer that I'm going to talk about is the Bare Minerals Good Hydrations Primer. It's a silky face primer. I really like this primer because it does hydrate the skin, but it also helps with texture as well. Only thing I don't like about this primer is that it does contain silicones. So if your face is sensitive to silicones, I wouldn't pick this primer up. This is the only primer that I've mentioned throughout all the primers I've mentioned that contain silicones, but it does make your skin feel really, really good. And you get a lot for the price. I'm trying to find the price right now. Yeah, it retails for $26, and that's literally half the price of most of these primers that I named in full size. So definitely pick this up. I feel like this is probably the Smashbox. Like, it reminds me of the Smashbox primer, just without like the glow, I guess. But it's like a really, really good primer. I really suggest this for you guys. This is like more so for dryness and a little bit of texture. Well, that's all the primers that I have for you guys. These are literally my go-tos. I highly suggest these primers. I'm pretty sure you can get at least one of them at your local Ulta or Sephora. If you have any other primers that you swear by, leave them down below. Put me on, because it's hard buying a whole bunch of like skincare and primers and then they suck. It's like you have to go through all that trouble and returning it, and people looking at you side-eyed because you're returning the product and giving you a hard time because you want your money back. Like, don't you hate when they take your money and they have a fine time taking your money, but when you want it back, they act like it's your fault? Like, give me my money back, the fuck. But yeah, you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and remember to stay furious.